What is up, Bold Nation, and welcome to today's video, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and there are a total of 6 different classes in the game. Today we're going to be breaking down which class will suit your playstyle and what you should consider when playing the game. So if all of this sounds like something you're definitely interested, a like would be greatly appreciated, and let's dive into Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Now, one of the coolest and most awesome things about this particular game is that you're not tied to one specific class because they're introducing a new thing called multi-classes, which allows you to select one specific class, which you will be locked to, and then you're going to be able to select a different class that you're able to grab stuff from their skill tree and use it on your primary class, which makes it really cool. So theoretically speaking, you'll have an option of having different classes at the same time, making it really awesome for making builds. But today's video, primarily, we're going to be focusing on what class is what and what might fit your playstyle the most. Now, before we dive into the classes, I do want to let you guys know that each class will have a class feat, which is a passive effect that was always active. In addition to that, each class will have 2 action skills, which are on active cooldown. And in addition to that, you will have a skill tree for each class. With that being said, let's dive in and talk about the first class. The Stabomancers are basically your assassin class. So if you like to be sneaky and you like to sneak around and become invisible, then this is definitely the class you want to pick. They specialize in getting crit hits on enemies, but with the huge advantage of being stealthy as well. You can literally go invisible and then strike an enemy from behind. So this is definitely the type of class to pick. If you're the type of person that likes to avoid directional confrontation, then this is definitely the class you want to pick. Think of it like a flag class when he's able to go invisible and sneak on enemies from Borderlands 3. This is kind of very similar to that, so this is going to be your assassin class. If you like picking an assassin every time you play games, then this is definitely the class you got to go with. The next class we're going to be talking about is the Spellshot. Now the Spellshot, think of it like Siren in Borderlands 3. If you can imagine a character that combines spells with gun power, this is definitely the class you want to go with. So if you like casting and you like using guns, this is going to be the class you want to go with. Spell shots are the specialists when it comes to combining guns and spells at the same time, because getting crits are going to benefit your cooldown when you're a spell shot. And one of the funniest things that this kind of class has is the ability to transform enemies into livestocks. Now, I'll have separate videos kind of breaking down each individual class and, of course, the best build for each of them, but this is definitely a very fun class to pick. They deal different elemental damages on enemy like fire, ice, and they can also use their spells to wave abilities to increase spell damage and fire rate. So if you love magic along with having guns, then this is definitely the class you want to go with. Alright, the next class, guys, is called the Clawbringer. Now, this particular guy is pretty much your warrior class, your kind of tank class. It has the really awesome abilities of dealing lightning and fire damage. In addition to that, it also has a companion who breathes fire and helps it in combat. So think of Flak like having a pet. This is very similar to that. They are really awesome when they use their main weapon, which is a hammer, because this is the main source of power. Throwing enemies and dealing lightning damage or smashing these enemies to the ground will also deal fire damage on an AoE effect. And you're going to be able to knock down enemies every single time with that hammer, allowing you to cause both different types of element damage with this class. The class also has a Dragon Aura, which provides additional fire damage on weapons for the entire party. So really good class to have if you're going to be playing in multiple teams, allowing you to provide that fire effect to your teammates. This class is going to be bestly suited if you guys want to be the main person that's in charge of crowd control, being able to tank enemies, and also being able to deal a lot of damage to a massive amount of enemies around you. So if you like to be tanky and cause a lot of damage around you, then this is definitely the class you got to go with. The next class, guys, is the Berserker, and just like the name says it all, it's pretty much a tanky barbarian. This guy is amazing, and the cool thing about it, his main focus is melee combat, and with this melee combat, he's able to do frost damage alongside with fire power. He is skilled at melee attacks, which deal brutal and ton of damage not only to the enemy he's hitting, but also to the enemies around him. They have a skill called Feral Searchability, which is an amazing attack that you use to close the distance between you and your enemy, and it does AoE damage once it actually connects. They have an ice-based spin attack called the Dread Wind, which also deals AoE damage. Along with this, they have the ability to leech life from the enemies when you take them down. So you're going to be kind of like a little vampire right there, hitting people, knocking them out, and when you kill an enemy, you'll be able to get your health back, allowing you to stay alive, because this is a melee class, focus class, that you're going to be up close and personal. So you would like to be in close quarter combat and combine that with a little bit of gunplay and have a good amount of crowd control and the healing ability that comes with it, this is definitely the class you gotta go with. So the next class, guys, is the Spore Wardens. Now, they're actually pretty interesting classes because they have a companion, a spewing mushroom that helps them fight the enemies, which deals toxic damage. They can summon 3 tornadoes to seek out enemies and launch volley of arcane arrows. They're pretty much the Guardians of Wonderlands. These characters are mainly focused on long-range combat, so if you'd like to be a little bit further away, kind of think of it like Flag having a pet alongside with you and having the ability to do toxic damage as well, but keeping your distance with kind of like a sniper long-range type of thing, because this primary class is pretty much focused on not getting too up close to the enemy, keeping your distance, and being able to dominate the field, not only with your kind of long-range weapons, but also with your companion that allows you to do a ton of damage around. All right, so the next one, guys, we have, which is the last one, is just going to be the Gradeboard. Now, this particular class is going to be a high-risk, high-reward class, and this is not going to be for beginners because basically this build is going to use dark magic, and they are masters at spells, but they, unfortunately, to be able to use these spells, they have to sacrifice health to unleash these devastating dark magic attacks. They are also aided by a powerful and ancient demi-leech, which will also assist them in doing damage, but you guys got to keep in mind, every time you cast that spell, you're going to be taking a chunk of your health away, so we're definitely going to have to find a way to actually get that health back, and of course, we'll have builds for this class. I believe this class is going to be extremely powerful at endgame, but it's going to be those kind of classes that you have to level up first in order to maximize it to its full potential. So if you like that high risk, high reward type of class and don't mind taking chances of your health and chunks of it, then there's definitely a class you definitely got to take a look at. Now, those are all the 6 classes found in Tiny Tina's Wonderland. Of course, we will have more complete breakdowns. In addition to that, telling you guys exactly what are the best combinations for each individual class to use the multi-skill to be able to maximize your character the most as you possibly can. I hope you guys are as excited as we are with Tiny Tina's Wonderland. If you are, let me know in the comment section down below what class do you guys plan on pick, and if this video helped you guys decide which class to go with. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.